Welcome to another episode of Planet Muse. We're joined by a special guest, a longtime friend, Daniel Spizzirri. For 20 years, Daniel has been a musician and a music promoter in the Australian underground heavy metal scene. He is still the current singer of heavy metal band Violent Disorder and director of DS Enterprises. He works with numerous artists in event management and promotion across Australia. Daniel has extensively been involved with youth high school programs over the years and helping mentoring new talent to pursue a career in the music industry. He's a real go-getter in the music scene. It's a pleasure to have Daniel here with us on Planet Muse. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting me, mate. It's a real honor that you'd asked me to do this video today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And we've come a long way. It's great to finally be here with you. So to begin the interview, how did you get started in music and the business?
Oh, well, getting started in music, I got started in high school. Actually, I was just with friends, terrible high school garage bands actually, and then one day something opened up not far from here called The Venue. It was at this tiny little venue at the back of Noble Park swimming pools, and local kids, the high school kids, could go there and play. There was bands with it was called a jam night actually, where you could just show up with your guitars, your leads, and drumsticks, and all of the backline equipment was provided for us. And we could start playing to people there, and all the other kids from other high schools came along and did the same thing. And we started networking with each other, and pretty much the entire music scene in the southeastern suburbs grew out of that tiny, tiny little venue, actually. And yeah, that's where the saying south of the river, like this was many, many years ago. I don't know if that saying is still around, but they said it's down towards the southeastern suburbs, it all gets heavy south of the river. And when you go out that way, it's all metal bands and rock bands and grunge bands, and angry teenagers playing aggressive music. And that's where it all started for me. I met people there. I ended up becoming actually part of the Muso network, the committee that started these jam nights a few years after that, actually. And it grew and grew and grew, and we got better equipment, and I became one of the executives, the band liaison officer. And yeah, I was the MC at all of their live events. I was actually the MC for the Dandenong Council as well at a lot of their award ceremonies and stuff like that, because the venue and Muso Network was run by the City of Greater Dandenong. And from there, you meet more people, and you eventually progress out into the pub scene, which I did. And yeah, and then I started DJing at the alternative clubs around Melbourne, organising my own shows at pubs and clubs and things like that, and met more people, and it all just it all snowballed from there, from that one tiny little venue at the back of Noble Park swimming pools. Yeah, that's how I got started.
Wow, what an amazing journey. So I know that you're in a band called Violent Disorder. Could you please tell us more about that band and what, if it's still going, and what's happening with it?
Yeah. Oh, well, Violent Disorder is still around. It's kind of a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but I've been in a number of bands over the years. But Violent Disorder was the one that I'm probably most known for, with my stage name Dan Disorder. I hadn't played in a band for nearly 2 years, actually, at the point when I joined. And the band I was in previously, they were actually using the rehearsal studio next door to them, and they heard them jamming through the door, and they rang me and they said, Spiz, there's this band next door. They're real heavy. They're brutal as hell, and we think you'd be good for them, And they said, do you want us to pass on your number? And yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give it a go. And so they did. They knocked on the door and said, we think our ex-singer would be really good for you guys. So they rang me. We talked for a bit, and they sent me a CD. And the music on there, I wrote the lyrics to one of our first ever song, Humble. And I went down and jammed with them. And to tell you the truth, I knew I was going to be in that band after about the first 10 seconds. Because once the song kicked in and I started started doing the vocals over the music, all the other guys just kind of smiled and looked at each other. And it was, yeah, the energy was just there straight away. Everything about being the singer in Violent Disorder is one of the best things I've ever done. Actually, that's one of the things up to this day. You know, all these years later, that's still something that I'm immensely proud of. Actually, we wrote really killer songs. We had probably we were the most ferocious live band in Melbourne back at our peak. You know, the Beat Magazine. I remember this. I remember we got a review in Beat Magazine, and they call us the most abrasive live band in Melbourne because we, spit water, and I'd bang my head with the microphone, and we were all about just what is the most intense thing that we can do at the moment. What is not just in our performances, but our lyrics, the way we approached everything visually, CD covers and promotion. We wanted to be as confronting as possible. So once you saw it, you never forgot it. And yeah, that's what violent disorder is all about. We are quite somewhat older now. All right, so we are not as aggressive, I guess you could say, in our stage performance, but we still give it 100% though. We haven't written anything for a little while. Mike sent me some music not that long ago. I haven't gotten around to doing any lyrics over it because I'm just so busy with so many other things at the moment, as are the other guys. But I know there's still time for violent disorder in the not too distant future. It means a lot to all of us, and we're not quite ready to let it go just yet. So yeah, we'll be back. We're still around.
Cool, cool.
Mm.
And what challenges have you faced as a band leader and singer over the years?
Challenges. Oh, that's a good question. Having to compete with other bands for the really good gigs, like the support slots, and getting noticed by the national touring companies, because there's everybody wants them. Everybody's putting in 110% to get noticed by them. That's one of the difficult things that we've faced over the years. That, and well, finances, because being in a band is expensive, and
Mm.
what you do make needs to go back into the band for recordings and merchandise. And even when you make money off the merchandise, that goes to the next recording, and petrol for driving interstate, which is very, very tedious process. That's something I don't miss, the long drives. Although I think that last time we went interstate, we took an airplane, which is also expensive. But yeah, finances and competing for the really, really good shows. Not only that, it can be difficult to get people to come to shows regularly. Not because they don't want to support you or anything like that, but they're in the same position as well. They've got to keep an eye on their finances, and it was expensive to have a big night out to see a lot of bands. Back it's even more expensive now. It's even more difficult now. But it was that whole thing just keeps resurfacing, and also trying to make yourself stand out a little bit more. And that social media is great, for leveling the playing field when it comes to promotion and reaching people, because you can reach the entire world with a small device in your pocket. But once again, everybody's doing the same thing, and there's just this continued, saturation of other bands, like this new video and all the rest. You got to make this. How do you make your one stand out? How do you make your one more appealing so that people will like it and share it and all of that? Yeah, they're pretty much they're the primary ones. Although one other one is, people getting people to commit, to the workload, because it's more than just writing songs and playing shows. Mate, there's, as behind the scenes, the organizing and everything like that. There's just so much to be done, and it's getting other people to to commit to it, because or not even to commit to, but learning to do it. Now, I've heard a lot of bands say, we need a manager. We need a manager. No, you don't need a manager. You just need to manage your time a little bit better. Because I've said this plenty of times to so many people when we talk about music. It's a band manager. If it's just one person, if you take what that one person does and you divide that up between 4 band members, it's not a lot to do. And most of them don't do it. They just they're not committed enough to learn more than their own instrument, more than their own role in just the musical part. That can be that's very difficult. I'm going to give them a bit of a friendly nudge every now and again. Come on, man, we've got to get this done. We've got to impress people at this show, to get the better ones. Yeah. They're the biggest. I'd have to say there's plenty more, but I don't want to nitpick at the little things a little bit too much. Just the major ones are I'll tell you about. Yeah,
it's true. That is a challenge, having a creative and business mind at the same time for an artist is quite challenging, and you have to have a humility and willingness to learn. But you can see it with the most successful bands in the world. They embrace both sides of the music artist factor, business and creativity. And then when you bring those two together, and like you're saying about commitment, that's really important. That's half the battle, is trying to get everyone on the same page. So true. So getting on to the next question. Tell us some of the bands and events you've organized in the music scene in the past.
Oh, okay. Well, probably the biggest one I ever did. This was the one with Freezer, the Pedal to the Metal 3. It sold out down at Dandenong Town Hall back when it was a town hall. It's not anymore. But that was an annual event that we used to run through at the Muso network. And we played, the band I was in at the time, we played at Pedal to the Metal 2. And that was great. That was a really good show. There was about 600 and something kids at it.
Wow.
And the next one, I said, it's got to be bigger. It's got to be significantly bigger. We've got to show them how much we've progressed in the 12-month period. And we ended up booking as headliner was Super Heist. We had Super Heist, Blood Duster, Frankenbach, Earth, and Down to Size. I think a lot of the people watching probably won't remember Down to Size or Earth, because they were they're not. I don't think they're around anymore, but they were popular back in the day. And then there was a whole bunch of local bands as well. There was my band At What Cost. And there was Leech Seed, Skank Chaser, Negative Zero, Eye Level Eye, Benign, and I think there was a couple more. There was, I think, 12 in total. Now, logistically organizing that was all of the different guitars and everything, the equipment was really difficult managing that, but got through to it in the end. But like I was saying, Dandenong Town Hall absolutely sold out. We'll never know how many kids actually went to that in total, but the counting machine that we had broke at 857. I'm never going to forget that number. That number is tattooed into my memory. But we know it was well over 1,000. And it was amazing, like standing on the stage performing and looking out at all of those kids in the town hall.
Wow.
And Channel 31 came down and filmed the whole thing and put it on TV. We had special guest MC Jeff Rule, who hosted a radio show and was the booking agent at DV8 nightclub. Just everything about it was just huge. And that's from then on, like they knew that the council knew then and we knew then, but the venue, the small venue that I was telling you about where I first started playing music, we had completely outgrown that venue. Our shows were too big. We needed something bigger, much bigger. And that's when we had looked into getting a bigger venue, and we managed to secure nearly $3 million in funding from General Electric and I think the state government, and that's when we bought the castle, which is also in Dandenong, and it was renovated into. It's probably the best. I'll say this. This is the best. It's the best live music venue in Victoria. It's not the biggest, but it's definitely the best. The way it's set out. It's for musicians by musicians, and it has a legal occupancy of about 1,500. Yeah, and where you load in, you can set up the drum kit pieces, and then onto the stage, and then straight off onto the other side, and unpack. And there's 2 doors on either side, so it's in one door, out the other, so that you're not constantly going back and forth, and bands are tripping over each other's equipment and potentially losing things. It's in a nice rotating circle, and there's even parking at the back for the bands for their cars so they can keep their equipment in there, and it's all locked up so there's no access from the street. There's a mezzanine that looks down onto where the audience is, straight onto the stage, so you can have cameras up there and film it from an elevated position. It's really, really good. The night that it opened, and went there, and I went there and saw the place, how good it looked, how big it was, and looking around, like I helped make this happen. I was a big part of this. Made me feel really good. Made me feel really, really good. It's one of those moments that after years and years of playing music and touring and doing the really hard slog, you can look around at something really big and say, it was all worth it. It was all worth, and it's going to be there forever. It'll be there long after I'm gone. There'll still be young kids playing music to the local audience and starting their careers in that venue, and I helped make that happen. That makes I'm very proud about that. I've also what else? I've done several heats for Battle of the Bands through Freezer as well, that helped get a lot of musicians get their start, into the industry. We've worked with like even before they became famous, like at the Muso Network, it was The Living End. Jay Red, who was a really big international DJ for a while there, and doing press releases for Palpitation Music in Queensland. And I'm working on with Abaya Chantal from the Crapta Children. You know Abaya?
Yeah.
You know Abaya, don't you? Yeah, she's got she's got a solo EP coming out soon, and I'm going to be doing press releases for her, and see how many interviews we can get for her as well. Oh, and another big one that I was really proud of, Dare, the drummer from Dimmu Borgir, when he came to Australia and did a drum clinic tour a while back, and I got him his what is it, a guest DJ spot at Deviate, a VIP room party. Even Triple M ran a competition for Dare's for his drum clinic tour with Higo. Remember Distortion, the metal show we used to have.
Yes.
Yeah, if you could get why I should, you got to write in a letter. Why should I be allowed to go to the VIP party and meet Dare from Dimmu Borgir and a girl named Ebony won? Yeah, mate. I've been around. I've done I've done things that I'm still pretty proud of. A lot of what I've done with press release wise and press kits is for firmly sort of middle ground sort of bands, I guess you could say, not quite international touring, but national touring. They do the interstate shows and do the applicable radio shows and streams and YouTube channels and whatnot. Yeah.
Cool. So what obstacles are there to look out for as a music promoter and event manager?
Oh yeah, obstacles. Yeah, you got to look out for venues that, pardon me, might be keeping things from you. But they'll remain nameless. But one venue neglected to mention to me that the roof leaks. So water and electricity have been known to be a bad mix over the years. So yeah, you've got to make sure that the venues are telling you the whole truth, and planning well in advance. The obstacles is also getting bands to stick to the promotional plan. They sort of go rogue and make up their own flyers or their own posters, and like, no, guys, you've got to stick to the plan. That's how it makes it look nice and uniform, and it's going to attract people that way. Oh, what other obstacles are there? Yeah, and trying not to have your gigs on a night when a major international band is touring, so everybody decides, I'm not going to go to that girl. I'm going to go see Audio Slave, or I'm going to go see Slipknot, because that's actually happened to me a couple of times. I've booked a show, and then a little while later I found out, oh no, there's actually going to be this major event on that you're going to have to compete with, which is which can be very difficult when they've got all the big names, and that the local ones sort of always come in second best.
True. And do you have any music online, and where can we find it? Or like your own music?
There's Violent Disorder we've got a lot of stuff on YouTube. I know we've got a lot of YouTube videos up. I don't think there's anything on Spotify. If there is anything on Spotify, it's probably demos that we recorded ourselves that I'd rather you not listen to anyway. But yeah, you can definitely find us on YouTube. I really like the stuff we've got on YouTube, because a lot of it captures us live, where you get to see the energy and the crowd response too, because our fans were really quite fanatical about us, especially the young blokes.
Yeah, cool. How has music helped you through the tough times?
Oh, mate, it's immensely. How? Geez, God, there's a big question. When I was younger, it gives you, what's the word I'm looking for here? It gives you an outlet for things you're either confused or angry about. And that's the great thing about music. It never tells you that you're wrong or you're ugly or you're stupid, or it doesn't make you feel like you don't belong. It does the exact opposite of that. It's, it gives you a like a soundtrack to liberate yourself from would-be antagonists, or whatever negativity you're feeling at the time. There's a song out there that can help you, that can get you through that. And if there isn't, then you need to write it. and you need to tell the world how you feel. And that's how it's helped me when I was younger. It gave me a real sense of purpose. I knew from the moment that, because when I was really young, I liked AC/DC and the Angels and Poison and Bon Jovi and everything that's on TV or radio. You know, rock music, there was always something about it that drew me towards it. But once you get into, like, you know, high school, year 7 high school, and you start seeing things in your magazines, and, you know, you stay up later and listen to the late night radio shows. The moment I discovered, you know, real heavy metal like Machine Head and Pantera and Sepultura, Fear Factory and Slayer, when I heard their music, it just immediately had such a positive effect on me, despite the lyrical content. It immediately made me feel better. And I knew then, I have to be a part of this. I have to do this. You know, I have to feel this good again. You know, I want to feel this good all the time. And this makes me feel like that. Where do I sign? You know, and then after that, it just became this all-consuming part of my life. All of it, everything, my clothes, the posters on my wall, on my skateboard, the graffiti that I wrote, you know, inside the school locker, or on the back of the toilet door when I worked at Safeway at Waverley Gardens. They knew it was me. They knew it was me. They couldn't prove it though. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and I thought, I have to be in a band. I have to be in a band, you know. And I wanted to play guitar, but I wasn't very good at it. And people said to me, "Your personality, and that you should be the singer. You should definitely be the vocalist." And I just tried putting bands together, but nothing ever stuck. It didn't really. Bands didn't really come about until just after I left high school. But yeah, that's how it helped me. It gave me, you know, a sense of purpose and everything like that. But everything that I learned as a musician, and everything that I learned as a result of becoming a musician and taking the path that I did, has done more for me than anything I ever learned at school. All of the skills that I've accumulated in, you know, negotiating about cost and organizing things, and typing up press releases, and how to set things out, how to structure things, has done more to benefit me in my working life, even that outside of music, way more than anything I ever learned at school. Uh, Probably because I paid attention at what I was doing here than because I wasn't at school. And yeah, that's it. It's given me everything. Um, that's how it helped me. It's given me everything that I'm able to do now. But then once I became older, you know what it's done for me since then, because the very angry young man that I was doesn't exist anymore. You end up dealing with it, you know, or hopefully you do anyway, and you let go of that emotional baggage. And then it became, how it helped me. It became a very much a social thing as well. Uh, Having like a group of friends that were there that had a similar goal in mind. You know, just the band members. We have this unified front with a clear goal and purpose to move forward, and you know, the social thing, belonging, purpose. You know, like the same thing it did for me when I was younger, but slightly different. But you know, modified, less about releasing aggression and more about progressing your life further. That's what it did for me. Beside the mental health thing, like I was saying, it's given me skills that I can apply in job format. It's given me skills that I can use in my working life to, benefit me financially. So yeah, I didn't become the international rock star like Phil Anselmo that I set out to be, but it has definitely done a lot of good for me. It's really done a lot of good for me in my mental health, and it's helped me make good lifelong friends. There are friends that I started playing music with, 25, 26 years ago, and we're still friends now. We still see each other regularly. So yeah, music has helped me a lot. Helped me very, very much. I didn't talk about that too much just then, did I?
No, that's really good stuff. I mean, I can so relate to that. It's almost like us musicians, we speak a secret language, and that camaraderie, between musicians, and where you can play some good tunes, you can listen to some music, watch live concert DVDs together, or go to gigs and stuff. It's like a club, like a social club, and it's you meet like-minded people, you like the same kind of bands and artists and things like that, and you can share your interests with other people. I think that's so important for mental health. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, it's fantastic. So what music are you currently listening to now?
Oh, music I'm listening to now. Well, I'm gotten back into Decapitated, their album Anti-Cult. God, that's good. Ultimus, their new album. When I first heard Ultimus, or their first album, and I heard David Vincent was a part of it, because I was always a really big fan of Morbid Angel. I thought I want to know about this band, but that's really good death metal. Actually, that's really inspiring death metal. Really super aggressive. I like Decapitated because it's death metal, but it's got a real big groove to it. What else have I? Oh, Orbit Culture. I can't talk about this band enough. They're not just good; they're spectacular. Everything about them is they were what if someone said, "What is the embodiment of the true modern metal sound?" All I have to say to you is Orbit Culture. Their album in particular, Nisha, I've listened to that a lot. I listened to that album. I've been listening to that album regularly ever since I bought it, and like their YouTube channel, I watch their videos every now and again. They're doing good things in Europe. Actually, they're from Sweden, I think, or could be wrong. Who else am I listening to? Oh yeah, deathcore. I'm a bit late to the party with this band, but they're called Spite. Uh, they're like real. They might not like the association with the words deathcore, but that's how I would describe them. Very, very good, actually. And yeah, that's I've been listening to them a lot lately. And Ice Nine Kills. That's a band another band I'm a little bit late to the party with, but Ice Nine Kills and Motionless in White. I said a lot of bad things about that band, Motionless in White, because I thought their name was stupid, and I saw them with makeup on, so I just judged them and never bothered to listen to them. But then somebody actually played their song. That was Soft, and when I asked who is this, they said this is Motionless in White. Like, oh, okay, so yeah, I was completely wrong about them. They're not awful; they're excellent, and yeah. So yeah, they go to don't judge musicians by their appearance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. Same thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out all those bands, man. You've given me a list of bands I need to catch up on too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all the bands that come out these days, and
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
but it's good to discover new bands, new artists all the time. Get new inspiration. So before we sign off, have you got any thoughts you'd like to leave our viewers with?
Yes, I would. Learn if your music is something that you want to be a part of, learn your trade beyond your instrument, well beyond your instrument. by all means, be a good singer, bass player, lyricist, whatever it is you want to do. But the business side of things, absorb it all and learn as much as you can. Be as valuable an individual as possible, that you can do almost anything. Some of the best advice that I ever got to be successful in the music industry is be the person everybody has to go to. You know, like, oh, we need this. Oh, go see that guy. He knows how to do everything. Like, oh, we need to know this. Who should we ask? Oh, we'll go ask that guy. He knows everything. Be that guy, and everybody will go to you. And because everyone goes to you, you meet everyone. You know, you've got a really big network, and any door, any avenue, if you should be able to find your way into it pretty quickly. You know, but not only that, look after your health. Like, it's one thing that they isn't discussed enough, you know, with music. You know, there's always talk of the business side of things and the talent side of things as well. But your health matters a lot, not just your mental health, your physical health. Exercise regularly, eat well, and look after yourself, because playing music is a physical activity. It is. It's a physical activity. Life in general is a physical activity. The healthier you are, the better you are at it. You'll be able to put in more. The more energy you put in on stage, the more energy the audience will put out. If you're just standing there and you're uninteresting, then they're not going to get excited, and they're not going to come back and see you play again. You know, and that requires fitness. So put the effort into keeping yourself healthy, put that energy out there, and the healthier you are, the longer you will be able to play, and you'll get to enjoy your success for longer, because you'll live longer and you'll be healthier, you know. And when you look after yourself physically, you'll be surprised how quickly a positive mental mindset follows after that. Yeah. It's not just it's not just about the creative expression and everything else. It's what you put in. It's what you put into yourself physically as well. It will pay dividends. It really will.
Awesome advice. I 100% agree. Like yourself, I like to go to the gym, pump some weights, keep fit. So
Yeah.
and just eat well. Because a lot of people don't look after themselves, and then you see a lot of musicians, they deteriorate, and unfortunately some die because they don't look after their health.
So many more, so many. I've been, at the risk of saying something a little bit more, but I've been to so many funerals, you know, for people under the age of 40, and almost all of them were musicians. Yeah.
Shame,
You've really got to look after, yes, but you really got to look after yourself, guys. Yeah.
Awesome. That's such a positive message. We'll just let you viewers know that we will include all of Daniel Spizzirri's website and social media links in the description of this video. Just a general reminder, every Tuesday at 2:30 we have the Kemball Assault Choir, and then at 4 p.m. we have the Planet Muse program at the Kemball Core church building, featuring some of the state-of-the-art equipment, audio-visual technician work, amazing stage with music equipment. And you can also scan the QR code below me, as you can see here, if you want to find out some further information. And we also offer a certificate 3 in music if you want to do it, and it's completely free. It's all funded by charity, and it is just an amazing program that we can offer you guys out in the community, and we'll hopefully see you all there. And thank you so much again, Daniel, for coming on the show. Really appreciate you taking the time speaking with us.
Thank you for inviting me, mate. I really appreciate it.